Hi. Movies Explained here. Today, I will describe the film Soldier Boy, which is based on the true story of the youngest soldier of World War II. There are spoilers ahead. Watch out and be cautious. The film begins in Russia, where a family of 3 is enjoying time by the river. Sergei Ilyashkov, the youngest, brags to his older brother and mother that he is on top of a tree when German fighter jets suddenly fly overhead. The mother asks her children to quickly hide in the bushes, but the 6-year-old insists he is not afraid and shoots a catapult at the jet. To everyone's surprise, he hits the jets and causes them to explode. However, when he looks around, his family has disappeared. Sergei awakens from his terrifying dream and calls for his mother. Someone knocks on his door at that moment. Assuming it is his mother, he runs towards it, but a woman from the neighborhood enters in a panic. She expresses gratitude to God for preserving his life and informs him that his mother and brother have died. The young boy cannot comprehend what she is saying and prefers to wait for his mother at home. The woman informs him that the Germans have attacked them, and he must flee. Suddenly, soldiers approach their residence. The woman forces Sergei to escape through a window, but she is fatally shot before she can join him. The 6-year-old is now alone, without any family or friends. As Sergei flees the house, he observes his entire neighborhood engulfed in flames. He calls for his mother in vain and flees the area. After a period of running, he arrives in the middle of the forest. Because he is lost, the child begins to call for his mother to come and get him. He spends the night in the jungle. The next morning, he is seen drinking water from a river as enemy soldiers approach him. Sergei quickly conceals himself within a tree's roots, knowing that they are dangerous. He is startled by the presence of a snake, but neither speaks nor flees. The soldiers frighten Sergei more than the snake. The soldiers eat by the river and then depart, after which Sergei consumes their leftovers throughout the night. However, the boy is exhausted by the end of the day. He has gone without food for 2 days and has been wandering aimlessly. He falls while limping but continues to walk. As he travels, he encounters and consumes wild berries, however, a subsequent explosion behind him takes him by surprise. The boy becomes dizzy and begins to hallucinate that someone is approaching from behind. Despite this, he remains courageous and informs the individual that he has a rifle and is not afraid. He advances with a limp but becomes unconscious after a while. 2 soldiers approach him while he is sleeping. Commander Kuznetsov awaits his patrol soldiers at the Russian army base. They enter the facility with the injured and frail child. When the soldiers assert that they are on his side, the young boy introduces himself. The soldiers laugh when the child shakes the commander's hand and suggests that he introduce himself as well. The soldiers feel affectionate towards the child and encircle him. They force him to consume water and nourishment. Even the normally icy commander cares for the child. Katya, the nurse who treats Sergei's wounds, is also captivated by his personality. Because he wants to be a soldier when he grows up, the child requests that she draw a tank on his wounds. Even the wounded soldiers feel better after conversing with the child. Sergei is captivated by the commander's gun and his batch of ammunition. After removing the bullets from his honorary pistol, the commander answers all of the child's questions and lets him play with it. Sergei reveals the tank he has drawn on his stomach and brags about being a soldier. The boy is recovering quickly. Katya asks the commander to allow Sergei to stay with the battalion, but he refuses, citing safety concerns. He wishes to place Sergei in an orphanage. The soldiers spent every spare moment with Sergei. He is frequently visited throughout the day. They bring him food sent by their distant families and allow him to use their binoculars. One day, a soldier petitions the commander to allow the boy to remain with the battalion. The soldiers have developed a close relationship with the child and view him as their own. His presence relieves them of the burden of war. For his own safety, however, the commander insists on sending the boy to the orphanage. The following day, the enemy attacks, resulting in the injury of many soldiers. A vehicle arrives to transport Sergei to the orphanage. The commander informs the boy of the news and presents him with a wooden honorary pistol. The boy embraces the commander, claiming that he fears for his safety. The commander changes his mind as a result of his embrace. He requests that Sergei remain with the soldiers as his son. The soldiers are ecstatic to have Sergei stay with them, and that night they search for small soldier uniforms for the young boy. The commander rouses Sergei and provides him with clothing. He runs around in them and appears to be a soldier. Others begin to refer to him as their little soldier boy. As the child plays, the Germans launch an air attack against the battalion. The soldiers transport Sergei to a safe location before engaging the enemy. The number of wounded soldiers continues to rise rapidly. Sergei desires to contribute, so he delivers water to thirsty soldiers. One of them asks him to read a letter from his family because his eyes are bandaged. The young boy desires to assist, but he cannot read. He takes the letter and begins to fabricate the contents, claiming that the soldier's cow is safe at home. When the soldier states that he does not own a cow, the others tell him to play along and laugh. He uplifts everyone by reading their letters in the same manner. In the subsequent scene, Katya and the commander converse. The two appear attracted to one another, but they do not express their feelings. Sergei informs the commander that he is an orderly in the battalion and begins to introduce himself as such. However, the boy then observes the destruction of a soldier's station as a result of the attack. The commander instructs him to remove his cap out of respect for the fallen soldier. The following day, he insists that the commander assign him a mission and is tasked with distributing the letters to the soldiers. He accomplishes his mission effectively and even makes the soldiers dance for him. The next day, Sergei ventures away from the base with his binoculars. As he is playing with it, he observes the movement of a leg inside a haystack. He hurries back to the battalion and informs the soldiers of his discovery. The soldiers are skeptical, but they decide to accompany the boy. When they approach the haystack, they discover 2 German spies hiding beneath it. The spies are apprehended, and the child's intelligence is praised. That evening, the commander presents Sergei with his adoption papers. He is now the legal father of the child. Sergei is aware of the commander's feelings for Katya, so he takes him to confess to her as a gesture of gratitude. However, they observe her conversing with another man and incorrectly conclude that she is interested in someone else. The Germans attack the base once more. This time, Sergei helps the soldiers by delivering ammunition to the front line, but the soldiers there command him to return to the shed because it is too dangerous to remain outside. When he arrives at the shed, he observes the commander and others in a state of panic because the connection with the colonel has been severed. A soldier is dispatched to repair the damaged wires. Sergei observes the soldier's fatal wounds as he pursues him. He asks the dying soldier how he can repair the wires and then performs the repair himself. The connection is restored, and additional troops are called in. The 6-year-old saves the lives of everyone. Later, the commander and Katya are observed conversing by the river. Finally confessing his love for her, the commander asks her to be Sergei's mother. Katya is ecstatic, but before she can say anything, a soldier approaches them and delivers a letter to the commander stating that they have been dispatched from the base. The following day, all of the soldiers, including Sergei, depart for their new base. On their way, however, they encounter a minefield that destroys several of their vehicles. The commander is injured, while Sergei's close friend, the orderly, is killed in the explosion. He weeps and embraces the commander. They transport the wounded to their new base while continuing their journey. When they finally reach the other base, they meet the general, the commander's leader. He, too, is impressed by the child's ambition, and he congratulates the commander on having such an intelligent child. The following day, their division and the boy each receive a guard's banner. He promises to save his country if the general hands him the ammunition. One night, their base is viciously attacked, and the commander is pinned beneath the ruins. Sergei weeps and attempts to save his father. He summons the other soldiers, who ultimately bring out the commander. The following day, Sergei approaches a wounded commander, having injured his hands while attempting to save him. The youngster is now an integral member of the team. He has no family and follows them wherever they go during the war. The film concludes with the regiment moving to a new base. A voice in the background explains that he even participated in the Battle of Stalingrad and traveled to Poland with the soldiers. He is currently known as the world's youngest soldier, and the story of his legendary bravery is now being shared with the entire world. Subscribe for similar content, enable notifications, and like the video to support the channel. We appreciate your watching.